Okay, so I'm doing several things tonight that I don't normally do. Film at night, because I don't know, and I'm usually half asleep, most likely, and I was not going to start this one. This is a 2-panel piece. It is 8 feet long. Yeah, it's 8 feet long and 6 feet high. And I had zero intention of starting this, but I've gotten in a mode. And so I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 panels started. And so there we are. I should be wearing a filter, and I should have ventilation going, and I don't have either. So it's a lot of should-haves, shouldn't-haves, wasn't gonna-haves, and I'm doing it all, because that's how we roll. But this piece I'm really excited about. I'm somewhat excited about. I'm walking gingerly though, because I really don't want to screw up. The last time I tackled an image about this size and about the same content, I ended up overpainting. So we don't want to overpaint. We don't want to. It didn't overwhelm me. It's just I never had the proper space to work in. I did have one good space at one point, but it was just overpainting, and I ended up in a struggle with a guy that was supposed to be helping me, and so everything that went wrong, could go wrong, did. So it just turned into a mess, and I hope it ends up in a dumpster somewhere at some point. But anyway, what I have going on are a group of hands, and you can't see them, but outlined in blue are hands. Hands and arms reaching into the sky, reaching up, reaching up. All up here, all through here. In the center is my friend Melanie Moore. She's a dancer, a musician, just a little bit of everything, and just fabulous. This fabulous model, and I'm using that as the center. I didn't get her okay on that one, and I have to remember to contact her before I go any further. But she's in the center with this going on right here. She'll be at the center, and this will allow me, because she's half of her face is on one canvas and the other half is on another canvas or another panel, it'll allow me the flexibility to paint her in 2 different ways, different layers and different ideas, which I just love. I really relish it. And I had done another painting of Melanie, and it's called Melanie, and if you Google Melanie by Beck Lane, you'll find her image. She's seated on the floor with her white skirt spread out. That particular painting is with Raphael Coelho in Newark, New Jersey. And I believe he's shown it, but I'm not entirely sure because a lot goes on in my life. So it's Melanie. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, this particular face is going on to the left of Melanie and also to the right. So I'll have these faces going in opposite directions as silhouettes. What I don't want to do is get into a lot of detail in the hands or in the faces. I'm walking gingerly because for once I don't have a clear idea of what I'm going to do. So until I'm certain of the direction I'm headed in, I'm going very lightly and going slowly. Now, if you can see up here, I've used, I don't even have them with me. I have 2 different stencils up here for the lines. These bars are a little bit wider than these bars. And they can indicate or signify different things to different people. Obviously, these are going to be all brown faces, African American faces down below, 3 of them, and then up above will be hands. And I'm not sure what color I'm going to use to express them, most likely a blue and a teal, as I will down below. Although it's somewhat colorful now, I think I want to keep it muted. I got too colorful on the last big canvas with the hands idea. It just got ridiculous and out of control. And I don't really want this to feel overly joyful. I think we're at a dark point in history right now, and if we continue on this path of hatred and racial disparity and discrimination and white supremacy, it is only going to get worse and worse and worse. We're at a tipping point, at a precipice. And it is that precipice that I would like to convey, that point that we were at, where either we can solve this issue. We can say enough is enough and shut down the voices who are besmirching Black Lives Matter, who are besmirching the men who are being murdered on the streets, the black men who are being murdered because they are too black, they are too brown, they are too big. Or the young women who are being hauled from their vehicles because they're smoking. Or like the girl who was handcuffed, pepper sprayed, and thrown in a police car after she had been hit while riding her bicycle. That's where we are. And as white people, we can't allow this to keep happening. And we cannot leave our brothers and sisters to fight this alone. It is our responsibility as Americans to say we are one. E pluribus unum. E pluribus unum. We are one. Or something. It's disgusting and it's shameful. It is absolutely shameful, and it drives me to tears, as I've now said in 3 or 4 different videos. So this is what I'm doing, is hopefully capturing the precipice that we are at again. And it's not 1950, it's not 1960, it's not 1920. It is 2016. And we are still having this stupid, idiotic argument. I blame Fox News, and I blame Trump and the Republican Party in their selfishness, their absolute greed and selfishness. And if anyone doesn't think that I've seen racial disparity, racial hatred up front row seat with white people, you are out of your mind. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm disgusted. So anyway, on to the other things I did today. I've started my Leslie Jones, and although she looks like a bit of a scarecrow right now, just because it's all stick figure and colors and shapes shooting out here and there, she will improve. I have continued to use my aerosols to lighten and to darken and to give indications of shading and shape. And this is kind of fun for me, because this is carving it all out like a sculpture. This is carving out the figure that will be. This is the rough carving of marble or similar to it. You know, that's not going to be a red nose, because she doesn't have a red nose. But I'm really looking forward to this. I've been wanting to paint Leslie Jones for a while, but I haven't had the room till now, and now I do. And then I started another one today, which is really abstract and bizarre. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. That's a lot closer, and you can't even tell what is going on this one. this is the adventure for painting in May. This is the beginning of the adventure, the abstract shapes, the bizarre colors, the textures that are thrown in, so that it is barely recognizable as anything that is going to make any sense at all. And what it is these two. I can't remember the woman's name, but she was a drag king, obviously gay, but she cross-dressed at a time when it was very dangerous. It was degenerate and odd and offensive and scary for women to dress in men's clothing. And so I'm going to do that painting of she and her girlfriend. And I'm really excited. I can't wait. I think, maybe that's all I started with a 5. And I have a 6th one that I started the other day. But that's what I've been working on. And that is the impetus behind it, is painting people of courage. Painting, which I've been doing for a long time. I just never explained it. But there we are. It's 8 o'clock. Oh, no. Yeah, it's 8:15. And I've really got to get going. I've got to get to work on these guys. So I'm set up for tomorrow morning to get even further. I'm also starting to work on my storybook, Stories from Scootertown, and re-illustrating all of the characters and the illustrations in it. And I'll be posting that on Facebook and Instagram as well, and probably YouTube as I get a little bit further along. Because right now I just found everything this morning. It's been less than 2 weeks since I moved to Virginia, so I'm still unpacking and finding things. But there we are, and if you haven't found me on Facebook yet, I'm doing live feeds about 11 o'clock every day. And if you don't catch me at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m., they're, of course, just sitting on Facebook, so you can access them. I'm also doing a lot on Instagram, Google+, and a few other sites. I'm taking advantage of this residency. I'm not going to let this year go to waste, that's for sure. Anyway, time to get to work. Ciao.